Honourable Barab, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir. I rise to contribute to the motion before the House. I thank the Chairperson of the Social Committee and its members for their review report of the 2017 Annual Report of the Fiji Public Corporation Limited, a government commercial company incorporated in 2006, taking over the functions of the Public Trustee's Office, which was previously under the responsibility of the Minister of Justice. The legal registries under the Administrator General. I acknowledge the vision and the foresight of the late Prime Minister, Mr. Garse, and his SDL government for their initiative in carrying out the reform of the Public Trustee's Office department to what it is today, an incorporated body. The company is governed by the Fiji Public Trustee Corporations Act 2006. Mr. Speaker, the report states that the FPTCL provides deceased estate administration services, wills preparation, trustee services, estate planning services, and other legal services to the people of Fiji at no cost to government. Mr. Speaker, while it is commendable that there is no cost to government, this entity has been very profitable and generous dividends and returns have been provided to government. For example, government received $500,000 for the year ending 2017. This has taken up the total dividend received by government to $5 million in the span of 12 years of incorporation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Fiji Public Trustee has generated profits from fees for services rendered in accordance with the regulated fees charges regulations under the Fees Regulations 2008, according to the report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Public Trustee's Office did not charge fees from 1968 to when it was established to 2006, when it was incorporatized and started making generous profits, which the government singly receives a major portion of. Mr. Speaker, sir, may I ask the Minister and Board to review the charges and fees levied by the FPTCL in recognition of the difficult times we face, and in particular for the impoverished clients of the corporation. Mr. Speaker, sir, in terms of accountability, I'm sad to note that this committee did not receive submissions from clients of the FPTCL. There are complaints that there is lack of accountability by FPTCL to clients, even in terms of the statement of accounts to clients, and how funds have been spent. This must change, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is a most basic rule of governance that those in charge of our funds must be accountable for how it is expended, and clients should be able to request a statement of accounts when they need to. Mr. Speaker, sir, I now turn to the plight of child beneficiaries of Fnpf. There are questions over the amendments to the Fnpf Act, where funds for beneficiaries under the age of 18 are kept by the High Court, rather than the Fiji Public Trustees Corporation Limited, Mr. Speaker, sir. The High Court, Mr. Speaker, sir, does not invest these funds. I urge the Minister to review the situation and the best interests of the child claimants, whether these funds should be returned to FPTCL or other entity to invest its funds for the benefit of these child beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is apparent that the FPTCL legislation needs urgent review, as the Honourable AG has informed Parliament in August 2019. For the beneficiaries of these estates, I urge the Minister to accelerate the review, conduct consultations, and table the bill in this August House. I endorse the Standing Committee recommendations that the Corporation must introduce the legal services to address non-core business arising from customer demands. Secondly, improve stakeholder relationships and conducting stakeholder training. Thirdly, improve and strengthen its stakeholder relationships through regular meetings and consultations for optimum service delivery. Mr. Speaker, sir, in addition to these recommendations, may I request the Social Affairs Committee Chair to also invite clients of the FPTCL to have their say on the performance of the corporation. The board, in simply saying improve stakeholder relationship, is a corporate annual report talk. There seems to be just words on the page, rather than actually implemented by the board. The CEO and all staff of the corporation exist to serve the public and not itself. This must start with client relationships and being accountable to clients. The practice of accountability must be part and parcel of normal procedure, that estate officers are able to provide these reports to clients upon request. The practice of accountability must be part and, As noted earlier, the fees and charges levied by the FPTCL needs urgent review, and I call on the Minister and Board to undertake this review urgently. May I also remind the Minister on the review of the legislation. The Attorney General had informed Parliament that there are many estates in Fiji where, because of the family members not being able to reach any consensus as to what to do with the property, it's been left in a dilapidated state. It causes problems for the municipal councils, they don't pay rates, and it's an eyesore overall. Honourable Speaker, I also remind Honourable Minister regarding the management of Fnpf funds for child beneficiaries, whether the High Court is appropriate body to manage these funds. To conclude, sir, I agree that the FPTCL, Fiji Public Trustees Corporation Limited, provides an important service for the public, in particular those whose breadwinners have passed on early. That is why I recommend the review of its fees, legislation, and to be more accountable to its clients. The board, CEO, and staff must understand that they provide a service and must be accountable to those whose funds and property they administer in trust. That trust confers a statutory fiduciary duty that confers a duty of accountability to the beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand for those who have not been heard, despite their interest being apparently paramount in the management of the estates. I thank the committee for their report, urge the FPTCL board and the CEO to consider our recommendations, and thank you, sir, for the opportunity to respond. Nasa Valim.
I thank the Honourable Member. Give the floor to the Honourable Orte Mumukepa. You have the floor, ma'am.
Speaker.